Hello everyone, I am Zach, and in this video I'm going to try and explain to you how I made my Launchpad project. So I did mine on Virtual Riot's energy drink, and you can go check that out. I'll have a link in the description. And this sort of project is very similar to Nev, who makes projects like these, and they have samples on each button and they make different lights, and I'll be showing you everything I know as of now. And I learned a lot of this by looking at Nev's projects. He has, like, I'll give you a link to some of his videos, and he has examples of his projects that I looked through for hours trying to figure out how they worked. So I'm just gonna try to make it simpler for everyone, and so they don't have to, go through all the pain I did. So basically, there are two different channels that we have to worry about in Ableton. One is samples, so that's the sound it makes, and the lights, which obviously are the lights going back out to the Launchpad. And I have a template that I made that I'll have a link for in the description, and you can just fill it in with your own samples and with your own lights, according to how I show you to do that in this. So yeah, basically we're gonna go over this sample channel right now. So there's a drum rack in here, and it splits the Launchpad up into 4 parts basically. Over here you can see that there's sort of a split down the middle, and there's 4 sections, and I have them all labeled. So if I were to press, oh my bad, I gotta stop this from recording. Okay, so yeah, you have to be in user 1 mode, not session mode. And you have to have samples channel armed, and now it'll work. Okay, so as you can see, when I tap this top left button up here, it's lighting up, and I'll show you how to do lights in a moment, but right now I'm just gonna mute that. Actually, I'll keep it on so you can see what I'm pressing. But you can see the top left one is being played as I'm playing it on the computer screen right here. And you can also see that if I were to play this one over here, it would say bottom right. So I named them all so it's not too confusing. And also I'm going to note that when you press one, it'll switch to it over here. Now in each individual section in the drum rack, I put in an instrument rack, and that will let you put your different samples. And as you might have seen in the video I made, or in Nev's videos, he has different pages of different samples. So like if I were to play something here, it would sound different if I went here and played it again. It would be a different sample. So I can have, this page for like the intro, maybe this page for the drop, this page for a breakdown. So you get the idea. Now you can see right here inside the instrument rack, there's this little orange bar, and when I press one of these circle buttons on the side, it changes the position of that, and that's called the chain. So that allows you, and it's MIDI mapped, that little green dot, with every single one of these, each individual instrument rack. They're all mapped, and you can see that over here. And the reason it's 7 is because 0 counts as a number. So there's 8 of them. You have 8 different pages you can use. And that's also hooked up to the chain over here on the lights, so you can have different lights for different pages. But I'll explain the lights later. Okay, so for your samples, obviously switch into user 1 mode, and your instrument rack is where you put in your samples. So I have examples from Calvin Harris's Summer. I'm just using these as an example. So I'm gonna drag this first pad into maybe that one right there. So again, if you click it on the Launchpad, it'll show up on the computer screen. That makes things a lot easier. So I'm just gonna drag it into this instrument rack, and you can see now when I hold it, it'll play it. But I want it to play the whole entire sample by one click, not having to hold it. So you can see it's not playing the whole thing. So you have to turn the release up. So I can hold it, or I can just tap it and we'll still play the whole entire sample. Now let's say you want it to, you can just leave it if you want to be able to have to hold it. And let's say I want this to be on the second page. I would move that over, and I could click the second one here and see it would play. But if I went back to the first one, it won't play. So that's how you can have different samples on different pages. So let's say I want that one on this page, and I want this one on the second page. It'll play that one there, and we'll play that one on the second page. So we'll go back to the first one. I'll just delete this one. Okay. So also, you can have multiple samples on the same button, and it will switch between the two, or however many you want. So for example, to do this here, I'm gonna just delete this one. All right, so go to your instrument, I think. Yeah, here, the sampler. So go into Instruments tab and find your sampler, and drag that on. So right now it's playing that, and we're gonna go over here, and this lets you have different zones. So I'll explain this in one moment. Go back to our samples. Alright, so let's say I want these three to play when I press the same button, but they play separately. So it'd be like that. Okay, so drag the first one on, and we're gonna put the sustain mode to this one. So when you hold it, it won't repeat. It will just stop. Also, when you put it in the sampler, for some reason it gets significantly softer. So if you go into filter or /global, you can see the volume here, and I changed that to -5. I find that to be the same volume as if you were to just put it in normally. So put it to -5, and remember to do this for all of your samples that aren't, you need to be multiple different ones. Also, turn the release up here so that you don't have to hold it. Okay, so this is where the zone comes in. This is your first pad. So let's say I want my second one to play also, but I want it to play after. Oh, forgot about that. If you put a second one in here, make sure you go into the sample and put the sustain mode back to normal. Okay, so I want these three, so I'm going to change that sustain mode to, and the volumes will change automatically, and same with the release. So make these all shorter around this R, and R means that is the normal pitch, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. Once you have all three of these shortened to the R, then spread them all out one after another. So you have this one on C, this one on C sharp, this one on D. And the reason you want these to be on the R and not like this is because that will change the pitch of the sample, and we don't want that. So we want all the pitch to be the same. Alright, so once you have them like this, then go over here to MIDI effects and get your random and put it right before this sampler. And what this will do is, and you turn your chance all the way up to 100%, turn your choices to how many samples you have here. So I have 3, so choices would be 3. And make sure you put your mode to alternate, so it won't just randomly play one. So that's what happens when you add that random. It will change the pitch, and that's why you change the pitch in the zone of these 3. So now it will just put it in a loop of these 3. So that's useful if you have like 2 of the same sort of sample, but you don't want to put it on 2 different buttons. Then you can just have it on the same one. So I'm gonna get rid of this, all of this, because I just want this one. Wait, are we on instrument rack? Yeah. I just want this one sample here. Wait. Oh, this is just the chain. You can delete this. Go back to our samples. Okay. So I just want this one. I'll turn the release up. Alright, now I want this one to be the second one. So I'll drag that there. Go over here, turn the release up. And I want this third one to be right here. Alright. Turn the release up on that. So now you have... Alright, and then we'll do the... Alright, so we can put those here. I just quickly made these samples. You can, put whatever you want on them. Make your own samples or split up a song. Okay, so now we have okay. So after that, you want lights on them, I would assume. I'm not gonna have a second page for this example just because I don't need one. But you can make up to 8 pages with all these buttons, like I said before. All right, so move over to lights. You have to have your monitor set to in and your MIDI 2 set to your Launchpad output and channel 1. And this will make it so that you can have so basically what happens is you press a button on your Launchpad, it'll go into this samples channel, it'll play the sample, and then go into the lights. It'll ask what lights it wants or it needs to play, and it will send it back out to the Launchpad to play it. So basically I have a MIDI effect rack in here, and I'm just gonna say right now lights are a pretty big pain to program, but stay with me here, and if you need to, just rewind and rewatch this. But eventually you'll just remember all of it after making your project. Okay. So this is the same sort of setup as we had with the samples, with the chain. Like I said, you can make different pages of lights, and you can create a chain here, and we can rename it whatever you want, like for pad 1. So we'll get rid of this one. Okay, so this is across all of the keys. That means all of these buttons will light up whatever color this chain will tell it to light up. So the colors are defined by the velocity, and that's pretty much the how hard you hit it. But because the Launchpad is not velocity sensitive, like maybe a MIDI keyboard might be, you need to set the velocity yourself. So you can drag this from MIDI effects, this velocity on here, and at default it's at 127. So this knob is what you're going to be using to change the color. So right now it's yellow, but if I change it to 60, it'll be green. and there's a whole bunch of different ones you can do. Well, there's 3 different colors, 3 main solid colors I use, or 4, sorry. So there's yellow, which is all the way up. 90, I believe, is red. Nope, my bad. I haven't done this in a while. 60 is green. Is 45 red? I don't know. No, okay. You can sweep around. Oh, I think 75. Yeah, there we go. So 75 red is red, and I don't remember what orange is. Oh, I just saw it. There it is. I don't know. It's somewhere around 20. I think 32 might be it. No, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can look them up, but all I know is all the way up is yellow, 60 is green, and 75 is red. And you can do different strengths of different colors. So I'm not going to mess around with that too much, go too in depth. Okay, so as I said, each little pad on your Launchpad coordinates to a note on the keyboard. So right now, if I press that, you can see the C5 lights up. So if we drag this little thing in key, make sure you're in the key, drag it over to there. So that makes that one, only that one light up. So if I press any other one, none of the other ones will light up. So if you have this dragged out over the whole entire thing, which apparently, okay, all of them will light up that color. But let's say you want different colors for different keys. So I want this one to be, let's just say yellow. And then I want another one to be, we'll duplicate this. And we could rename it pad 2. Let's say I want this one to be green, then we could change this to green. 60. Alright, so you get the idea, and I'll just make this one just for the fun of it. 3. And we'll just, we'll make this red. So 75. Alright, so now you have different colors, and obviously if I change the page, neither the sample or the color will play, or the light will play. Even though it shows up there, it won't show up here on the Launchpad because the chain is not the correct one. So over here in the chain, you can change it to page 2 or whatever page you want, and it will play when you're on page 2. So see, the light will play now and nowhere else. So we'll just focus on page 1 for now. I'm just showing you so you can figure out how to make different pages. Okay. You can also change whether it plays, or it plays the color, or shows the color on this particular button or on a different one. So, okay, for example, to do that, use pitch. So if you drag pitch onto this and change it, it'll change where it plays the, or shows the light. So you can type in +1, and it will do the one next to it. And let's say I want it to light up this one right here. Then you would add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you'd add 8 semitones. And there you go. I'm gonna keep it on that one for now, but you can change with pitch where it starts on the note. Okay. You can also add something called a chord, and what that will do, see, I just enabled it. Chord is also in MIDI effects. You can drag it on, and you can add semitones to that, and it will play those along with the note you're pressing. Okay, and if you change the pitch beforehand, and keep in mind order of these effects are very important. So if I change the pitch like +1, it's not working. 1. Oh, okay, there we go. It'll do the one next to it because it's adding 1 and then doing the chord. But if I put this after it, Oh, I guess that didn't change it. But order does matter. You'll see that in a minute. All right. So +1 semitone, you could do +3. Move it all around, but I'm gonna just keep it there for now. Okay. So chord, I did +4, +8, and +12 to make the line go up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's how I made the line. You can also add 2 different chords, and that'll light up the whole entire area because I added 1 after this chord, added 2 after this chord, and added 3. So basically it's taking this line and adding 1, 2, and 3. So that'll make it light all of them up. If I just got rid of this one, see how it would get rid of that line. Alright, you can also add an arpeggiator. And what this will do is it'll make it so you can, here, I'm going to delete this one. And I'll delete this chord. Alright, so right now we just have that line. So I'm going to drag a new arpeggiator on. And we want it to go up. You can also have it go down and all these different types of things. You can play around with these. Excuse my cough. Okay, so right here, this knob obviously is how fast the arpeggiator will play. So if it's higher or a lower number, I mean, it'll go slower, and higher number or higher denominator will go faster. So we'll do like 1/24. Oh my goodness. Okay. So you can also make it hold, so you don't have to hold the note, so it works. So you can just press hold, and it will do it for you. You can also put the amount of repeats to the amount you want. So I only want 1 repeat, so it'll do it once, and it will stop. This gate right here, if you put it up, it kind of makes it trail behind it. It's kind of hard to show you. So there you can see that. So the higher the gate, the more it will trail, and you'll see how that can make things look really cool. Default is 50%. I'm gonna leave that there for now. You can also change it from sync to free, which means it's time based, so milliseconds instead of this rate. So sync means syncing it to the song. I just keep it there. Okay. Let's say I add a chord after this. This is where order comes. You can add 1, 2, and 3 like I did before. I'm just gonna type it. It's kind of dark in here, so I can't see anything. Okay. So see how it does that now? That's because I added this effect across all 3 of these. So that's why you put the chord after the arpeggiator, and it will do that. So obviously I can make that faster, make it trail behind a little. That looks pretty cool. I can also make it, if I put the pitch, I can subtract 16. I'm so bad with the mouse. Okay, so I'll add 16, 20, and 24. So there you go, it'll go up. So that's why the pitch is important, because you can start it from down wherever you want. Make that go faster. Okay, so that's just something you can play around with. You can do random, scale. I'm not too familiar with these. I'm pretty sure random just does a random. Let's do like 24 random. Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of different random things. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna keep it like this for now. And okay, what was I gonna do next? Yeah, so you can also, along with having multiple samples on the same thing, you can have different lights on the same thing. And this is where nested MIDI effect racks come in. So you can add another effect rack inside this effect rack. We'll rename this to pad 1. Let's say I really liked that light I just made on pad 1. I'll move that into this separate. Wait, I don't know if that's gonna work here. We'll just copy it from here. Cut, and we'll paste them inside there. All right. So, and you open up this little list right here. So we'll say rename light 1. All right, and then we'll duplicate that and we'll say rename light 2. Okay, so let's say I want this one to be green or something. We'll put this at 60, and then so this one will be red or yellow, this one will be green. And I want it to alternate between the two. This is very similar to making multiple samples play on the same one, like I said before. So you'll take a random and you'll put it before the MIDI effect rack. Make sure it's between the MIDI effect rack here and the one over here. Make it chance 100, alternate, and again, how many ever lights you want. So we have 2, so I'll put it as 2 choices. And then we go into key right here, and it's the same idea. So the only problem with this is that here, I'll show you. Okay, so it's over here, so we'll drag it over here. We'll drag this one to the second one. Alright. So you can see with the second one over here that's kind of messed up. It's green, but it's a little messed up, and that's because you changed the semitone one up, so you have to put it back down again. So if you go into light 2, put a pitch right here, and we'll do -1. It's not working. There we go. See there, that works now. Okay, so you have the 2 different ones. Oh wait, did I? Oh yeah, okay, and the random before it. And the reason that's lighting up is because this one's right here. There we go, now it works. So you can have this one, you can do a bunch of cool things with this. Make this second one go down. That's very useful to have multiple lights for the same one, so it's a lot of variation in your lights, but always make sure you subtract the amount of pitch you added to it. So let's say it was up here, you'd have to subtract 2 semitones, etc. All right. So I'm not going to fill those in, that'll take a little too long. So that's pretty much it. It is a big pain to do all of this, but it's the only way I know of that works. If this helped, let me know, or like it and subscribe. And if you have any questions, you can either comment or personal message me, and I'll attempt to answer them to the best of my ability. And if there's any other videos you have or suggestions for videos that you want me to make for this type of thing or anything else, actually, let me know.